Hey, what's up, guys? We got ourselves some breaking news. So Meet Kevin, aka Kevin Helmut Pathrav, has officially settled his lawsuit. If you guys remember, I made a video. You can actually see it right here. I made several videos talking about the fact that there was this gigantic $1 billion FTX lawsuit that was filed by this guy named Edwin Garrison and the Moskovitz law firm and all these other law firms. And we all speculated on what they could possibly be doing this for. And I ended my speculation by saying that I think that the lawyers go here because these are some legit law firms. I thought that the point was to force a settlement, and it worked. They actually got a settlement. So if we go right here, you can see the document, and it just kind of details like everything going on with the settlement. But it says right here, joint motion for stay as to defendant Kevin Pathrav pending approval of settlement agreement and notice of settlement. So they're explaining the settlement agreement, and they're also giving the notice that a settlement is taking place. Let's go ahead and read this article. It says right here, plaintiffs and defendant Kevin Pathrav, collectively the settling parties, are proud to announce they have executed a term sheet which provides for a full settlement of the claims against defendant Pathrav, this class action matter. We further read, to save the court and the settling parties' time and resources, the settling parties jointly request a stay of the litigation between the settling parties so the settling parties can devote their time and resources to drafting and finalizing the class action settlement agreement and preparing the motion for preliminary approval of the class action settlement agreement. Settlement negotiations are ongoing as to other defendants in this action. This part was very interesting to me because it says right here, let's read this again. It says, settlement negotiations are ongoing as to other defendants in this action, which may result in additional executed term sheets in short order. This means that what they're saying here is that there are other people in the lawsuit that are also planning to settle, which looks like the lawyers actually won. It's crazy. The settling parties, including any additional defendants who also wish to settle the claims against them with plaintiffs in the class, intend to expeditiously seek preliminary approval of the class action settlement agreement pursuant to rule blah, 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 blah. On May 23rd, 2023, plaintiff and defendant Kevin Pathrav reached an arm's length agreement in principle to resolve all claims against the defendant. In this proceeding, the settling parties executed a formal term sheet on June 1st, 2023. Plaintiffs are also engaged in productive negotiations with other defendants in this action and expect that additional settlements may be reached in the near term. So not only is Kevin Helmut Pathrav settling, but it looks like you're going to get settlements from a bunch of other people in this case too, which is absolutely amazing and insane because it looks like the lawyers legit won. Now, obviously, they were suing for $1 billion. Obviously, they weren't going to get $1 billion freaking dollars. And what's also interesting is I really wonder how much they got, because for you to sue for $1 billion, I would assume they got more than 10,000. I would have to assume that. And one thing that we know is that Kevin Helmut Pathrav has a lot of money. Now, for Kevin, I think this is smart. Everybody else, I'm not so sure. But for Kevin specifically, him and BitBoy Crypto are the richest people by far out of well, Graham Stephan's really rich too. But besides Graham Stephan, I mean, obviously, if you talk about people like Jeremy and I don't even remember the other guy's name, Minority Mindset, Tom Nash, Erica Kohlberg, Kevin Pathrav, Graham Stephan, and BitBoy are the richest. I think for Kevin Pathrav, if you got $20 million, you've got a lawsuit that you're very easily going to spend several $100,000 just to defend yourself. You might as well settle if it ends up making sense financially. If you're going to spend less money to just settle the dang case than to fight it and go all the way through the court process, I personally think it's worth it. So I'm not even mad at Kevin for doing this, but I am shocked. I will be honest with you guys. I am shocked. I did not think that some of these people would do it. As a matter of fact, Erica Kohlberg is not settling. We know that for a fact, and I'll get into that later into the video. But Erica Kohlberg is not settling. She absolutely is not. She's fighting this. She's trying to get it dismissed. But Erica Kohlberg is also a lawyer, so it kind of makes sense. So, yeah, I mean, I guess if we want to read more, the settling parties are now in the process of drafting a detailed class action. Okay, so basically it's just giving us more details on everything that's happening. But, yeah, crazy stuff, guys. It looks like Kevin Pathrav has settled, and it looks like some of the other defendants are going to settle as well. What does that mean? Well, the lawyers have just straight up won. It's crazy. This is what sucks about lawsuits. It's so hard to beat the lawyers because The lawsuit system is literally rigged against you. You have to be rich in order to stand a chance. And even when you're rich, you still don't necessarily stand a chance. Look at Meet Kevin. He's rich. He still lost the lawsuit. He ended up having to pay money, which I think is justified. I actually think this is probably the best outcome, to be completely honest with you guys. If I had to be honest with myself, I think the fact that a lot of these guys are settling and going to have to give some of that FTX grift money back. Again, I have no idea how much they settled for, so I could very well be wrong. Like, if they only settled for $10,000 or something like that, then that's not justice. But if they have to pay several $100,000s to settle this, I think that that's justice, because they're essentially giving back all of the FTX money that they made forcibly, right? Because originally a lot of people in the community, including myself, said that these guys should give the money back. Well, obviously they refused. They did not give the money back. Even though Meet Kevin said he would give the money back, he never actually ended up doing that, which again is something that a scumbag would do in my opinion. But we already know how I feel about Meet Kevin. I think this guy is one of the biggest liars on YouTube and just a scum. I really think so. You know, I got nothing against the guy. I've never had anything against him. I just tell it like it is. When you lie to your own fans consistently, and you tell them, I'm not going to take sponsorships anymore, then you end up taking sponsorships again. Then you tell people, oh, I'm going to give the FTX money back. Then you don't give the FTX money back. You know, just all this stuff. I mean, Kevin is just, man, he's a very interesting person. That's all I got to say. But yeah, it looks like this is a win for the lawyers. It looks like this is a win for the community, in my opinion. And we're finally seeing some accountability with these grifters. These grifters had to pay up, and that makes me very happy. So that's really all I got to say about that specific portion regarding Meet Kevin. What's also interesting is that one of the other defendants who is also being sued, Erica Kohlberg, who is one of the co-founders of Creators Agency, filed a motion asking the court to dismiss the lawsuit brought against her under the Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12b-5. Rule 12b-5 is a federal rule that allows for dismissal of a case due to insufficiency of service of process. Insufficiency of service of process refers to a failure to properly deliver the necessary legal documents like the complaint and the summons in order to initiate a lawsuit against the defendant. In this particular case, Kohlberg is arguing that she wasn't properly served with these documents, aka she hasn't been served the paperwork, which is true. As of right now, just about everyone in the case has been served except for Erica Kohlberg, and I believe Tom Nash hasn't been served either. But Erica Kohlberg believes that it should be dismissed because the plaintiffs have filed a lawsuit against the defendants, i.e. Erica Kohlberg, Kevin Paffrath, Graham Stephan, Jeremy Lefebvre, etc., while referring to them as influencers, accusing them of promoting unregistered securities of FTX. Now, Erica Kohlberg is claiming in this filing that she is not an influencer, nor an employee, officer, or director of FTX. Therefore, she's saying that the complaint is devoid of any factual allegations about Erica Kohlberg, and that the complaint does not provide any specific or concrete claims against her. Now, here's where it gets very interesting, right? Because I completely understand why Kevin is thinking about settling. As a matter of fact, I actually think it's pretty smart. I don't know if he's actually going to do it. Well, we know he's going to do this in the paperwork, but I don't know exactly how much it's going to be for. I think that's where it's going to get interesting. But if you look at somebody like Meet Kevin, who's got a private plane, got all this money, $20 million, blah, 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 all these grifter courses, still making a crap ton out of ad revenue, even though his views are going down. It's just like, what do you really want to do? Do you want to go through the trouble of fighting this case for however long it's going to take? Or would you rather just settle? You see, these are things that rich people go through all the time. There are so many instances where famous and rich people and celebrities get sued on frivolous lawsuits, and their lawyers come to them and they're like, hey, we know it's frivolous, we know it's BS, but you know what? You would honestly be better off just settling. Just give them the 20, 30K or whatever. You've already got so much money. That would be way better than spending 300 to 500K to pay us to fight the case for you. And that's the really messed up part about lawsuits. And that's the other part of this video that I really want to talk about. It's really unfortunate that somebody can literally just sue somebody for nothing and just ruin their life. We really need to fix that system. Like, that is a completely terrible, awful, and broken system. The fact that any rich person can ruin your life, literally, or they don't even have to necessarily be rich. It could really just be anybody. If anybody has the resources or the money or the means or the lawyers behind them, they can go after anybody and sue them, and you're going to automatically be forced to spend $300,000 to $500,000 to defend yourself, even if the lawsuit is frivolous, which we are literally seeing happen right now with Spencer Cordelia, and it's absolutely insane. So when I just look at Meet Kevin, I'm just like, yeah, it honestly makes a lot of sense for him to settle. I think what he's doing is actually smart. All the other idiots who are going to sit in there and fight the case all the way to the end, I don't think that's very wise. I've covered this case extensively ever since it first began a few months ago when the lawsuit paperwork first got filed. I talked about it. The law firms involved in this are real deal law firms. These are some rinky-dink clowns. These aren't some people who just don't know what they're doing. And one of the theories that I had is that I thought that one of the main reasons why they were filing this lawsuit against these influencers is because their goal was to get them to settle. And it seems like their plan is actually working, because it seems like Kevin Helmut Paffrath actually plans to settle. Now, in terms of Erica Kohlberg, doesn't look like she plans to settle at all. It looks like her goal is to get the case dismissed. That's her goal. She's like, you know what? I'm going to fight this. I'm going to get the case dismissed before it goes to court. I have no idea if Erica Kohlberg has a lawyer or any sort of legal representation, but keep in mind, Erica Kohlberg is an actual lawyer with her law degree. So, you know, she could easily fight this case herself. But yeah, looks like Kevin Paffrath plans to settle. That's really what we got here. I haven't really seen any other updates regarding the case. I've just seen weird things like lawyers dropping out and all this drama regarding BitBoy Crypto, which nobody who follows my channel cares about him. Every time I make a video on him, those videos flop. So you guys clearly don't care. But yeah, looks like Kevin plans to settle the case. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. How much money do you think Kevin Helmut Paffrath is going to settle for? I think that's where it gets interesting. I honestly couldn't tell you. I mean, it's a $1 billion lawsuit, so I don't know. You do the math of what you think. I don't know. So, yeah, anyway, that'll go ahead and conclude today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.